I decided to take on a new project, and this thing is about 73 years old. Back in 1947, it rolled off of its assembly line of some sort and looked a lot better than it is today. This is a true barn find, and I say barn find because it literally has pretty much everything here, but it's in terrible condition. You can kind of see, not even cleaned out. It does have the actual change mechanism in it, and a lot of these change mechanisms were altered to accept pesos when these machines would be shipped down to Mexico. But as you look around in here, you can see the condition of all this. Just kind of see this entire board here is warped. It's bowing downwards. Kind of back up some so you can see that. Things like this needle arm is broken. Oops, there you go. It just fell off, huh? Moving on down, you can see just some of the components. Just looks like years and years and years of just sitting in a shed. You know, the worst part of this machine when I picked it up was the fact that it was completely infested with termites. So anytime that happens, you can assume that if the termite damage is on top and you're seeing signs of termite damage all the way down, I'll show you an example. Take a look at that there. Then you know the base of it's shot. A lot of this old nickel plating is in pretty rough shape. Maybe you can even see some of the old songs in there. Mama Lupita. Just super cool. I mean, it looks cool. When you stand back, pretty neat machine, huh? Well, I purchased it without any disclosure of the termite damage. And of course, like I do a lot of my stuff, I had it shipped to me sight unseen. And I realized there were several things that were not correct on it. And the main thing being the termite damage really left me disappointed. And I reached out to the previous owners and asked if they might assist in some of the costs associated with me purchasing it, just because of the tremendous termite damage that the machine had. It actually had living termites in it, and I had to just douse the machine and kill them. And I've got them all pretty much taken care of, but now I'm left with a bigger problem. But some of the things that weren't correct is like the light strip here. The original ones had a fluorescent tube going up and down it. It was covered with a clear plastic cover for the tubes that sometimes would be colored in different ways to illuminate the plastic coverings that go around it here. You can kind of see the plastics are all melted. You can see the old Wurlitzer. Change doesn't look too bad. See how this is all melted. Ooh, oops, I didn't do that. But even all the plastics in here, you can see how bad they are. Well, I told my wife I was just going to wrap this thing up and work on it at some future time, and she said, yeah, right. She says, that'll never happen. She says, it's your OCD kicking in. The second you get that thing at the house, you're going to start tearing it apart. Well, guess what? Ha 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 ha. That's right. So, fortunate for me, I went on the hunt, and I had to drive out to California, but I met the kindest husband and wife team that restores jukeboxes out there, and Ken and Karen were their names, and just an awesome couple. And would you believe they hooked me up with all the wood that I need to finish this out, including a base that they no longer make. This was made by a gentleman that I don't even think is around anymore, but you can see it was a brand new base that was put together, designed and built to the specs of the jukebox. He may have been making them for the jukebox. I have brand new back covers inside this paper here. Got a couple of really nice arch panels there that make up the arch with a really nice finish on them. It'll take me very little work to get those done. All the trim pieces, I mean, they just look really, really good. And of course, the new door that'll, with a little reconditioning, will come out really nice. And so that's not all the parts, of course. I have, of course, here's all the plastics, the old ones, but I do have, let me walk over to my other project over here, which you guys probably seen on Facebook, but I have new plastics as well for it. And got one bubble tube. I'll need to get more, but you can see I've got some great plastics. I even have a couple of the center caps that go right down in the center of the jukebox. So now given, I know I've got a lot of work in front of me, and this is going to take some time, but I feel like I'm off to a good start, and this is going to be fun when it's all completed. My goal is to document it as I go through the work on it, and as I try to put it back to as original as possible. I hope you guys will join along and follow along and participate in this restoration. You know how I work. If you've seen some of my other videos, I get pretty detailed, but a lot of this stuff I'm going to have to rely on the experts for, of course, but because I don't do a lot of the stuff that this thing's going to be required to have done. But I will learn a lot, I'm sure, through the process. And I'm sure at the end of the day, it'll probably cost me twice as much as one of these to just buy. But I promise that between that, you and I are going to learn a lot about this machine. So take a good look at it, guys. This was the way it came in. And with a little luck and a whole lot of hard work, it's going to look beautiful.